7-year-old black lab.
He was very playful, you know, a typical black lab that would just run around and loved kids, loved other dogs.
Troy Lindsay refers to himself as Rex's father. Living deep in rural the Chosen, dogs in this quiet neighborhood often roam around visiting friends.
I still have his mat sitting over there by the fireplace.
As of last week, Rex's favorite spot has sat empty.
He got violently ill, and of course I rushed him to the vet, and they knew right away.
The emergency clinic told Troy they had seen this before.
They said he's been poisoned as rat poison.
Rex spent the next 2.5 days fighting.
He ended up passing away after 2.5 days. Right, they did everything they could.
Tests were run on Rex, and rat poison was confirmed as the cause.
They were 100% certain of that.
Second-generation anticoagulant rodenticides became restricted in British Columbia at the beginning of 2023, prohibiting public use and most commercial sales, with exceptions for essential services like hospitals and food production facilities. Although that doesn't mean the poison has gone away completely.
A lot of people have a shed with some poison that maybe they bought 10, 20 years ago that is still effective.
Ann Nightingale is a volunteer with the Rocky Point Bird Observatory and says animals such as birds will go after a poisoned rodent, becoming poisoned themselves, often resulting in death.
I've heard over the years that virtually every owl that is admitted to a rehab center, whether it's here or on the mainland.
You hear that? Every owl that has been admitted to a rehab facility. We're going to play that again, but before we do that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Rachak Wadash, double honor to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Rachak Wadash, Shalom, to all the believers out there fighting for their faith in these wicked, evil last days. And this is just a video, you know, that came on my feed, so I just clicked it. You know, you would think it's just, you know, a dog got poisoned, you know, which that's unfortunate, going into the rat poison that was in circulation, to where, you know, back then when they made it, it was poisonous not just to rats but to all different type of animals. So this dog ended up dying. But there was something in this video. It talked about the owls, because also what happens is the birds of prey will eat the rats and they'll die. So something that's supposed to be, you know, beneficial, you know, rodent control. All right. The way Esau tackles it, not by allowing the native predators in the land to be in balance with the earth, okay, but he uses poisons. He goes into a laboratory and he creates a poison in which the rat eats and dies, which is effective, but it destroys the earth. Okay, let me play this part real quick, and then I'm gonna get that scripture in Revelation. Okay,
Still effective.
but just hear what she says, and I was like, man, it's a damn shame. You know, basically, owls. There's a rehab facility. You know, like somebody that takes drugs. You know, they gotta go to a rehab to get built back up. In this wicked, evil society, there's facilities for owls to get back on their feet. You know, because they've been poisoned or whatever environmental hazard, all right, the so-called white man, the Edomite, is causing in the earth.
Ann Nightingale is a volunteer with the Rocky Point Bird Observatory and says animals such as birds will go after a poisoned rodent, becoming poisoned themselves, often resulting in death.
I've heard over the years that virtually every owl that is admitted to a rehab center, whether it's here or on the mainland, has a fair amount of rat poison in it.
Where it came from, I have no idea.
So you have a lot of birds of prey. You know, owls are respected, you know, amongst Esau, you know, which they're amazing. When you look at owls, it's amazing birds, not just a bird that you see every once in a while. You know, I mean, it's not a bird that you see every day. It's every once in a while you see an owl, especially in this society where Esau kills them off. But they'll actually eat the rats. And since the rats are eating that poison, okay, which they banned, all right, the owls are dying. So you're messing up whole ecosystems. The rat's dead, the dog's dead, and the owl's dead. You see Esau brings nothing but death. Let me it's a damn shame. You got an owl that got to go to a rehab facility. Okay, like it's on drugs, which those rat poisons, which is in the meat actually. Those rat poisons are actual drugs. Okay, Revelation 11. And I'm not gonna make this long. I just wanted to highlight that. I was like, damn. You know, you expect, okay, the dog died. We've all heard of dogs that died of, you know, poison. It's like, oh, you know, shit. It's fucked up. We in a society where the animals could just drop dead. But then you have it's not just messing up them, it's messing up the whole ecosystem. There's many animals that rely on rodents as food, and they'll eat it and they'll die. So you mess up the whole ecosystem. You actually destroy the earth, and then that poison goes into the ground, it goes into the water table. All these things affect us. Okay. This and all the hell that we're catching, all the environmental toxins, all the microplastics, all the forever chemicals. This is what this man brings. This is Revelation 11:8. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, these heathen nations, starting with Esau, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints of the Israelites, only the Israelites getting, that reward, which is, the kingdom of heaven, everlasting life, bodies that cannot be corrupted, will never sin, will never be thrown off their throne. Okay, will always be one with their power, Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, that's the reward, and that's going, as the scriptures say, pleasures evermore. We've only seen but a few of the Lord's works. And them that fear thy name, so the name is important to all these other Israelite groups saying the name's not important. Small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Okay, and this is a clear sign of Esau destroying the earth. All these animals, everything on the earth has a purpose. Okay, it's not just there just because it's there. So many billions of years ago, nothing out of nothing, it just exploded, and it created a Labrador that could bark and fetch. Nothingness just created this, what we have today. It doesn't make any sense. And through that, Esau Edom has been able to just use it as an excuse to just pollute the whole earth, because it says he believes, there's no God anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's play that back.
Troy doesn't know where Rex found the poison, but assumes it may have been discarded, often resulting in death.
I've heard over the years that virtually every owl that is admitted to a rehab center, whether it's here or
Okay, let's look at what is a rehab center. Let's look that up. Let's ask to exist, which is the AI. Let's see. It says a rehab center is a facility that provides treatment for individuals struggling with addictions to drugs or alcohol, offering medical and therapeutic support to help them recover. In this society, this is what you have. You have these rehab centers. Speaking about these people that are on drugs, but who makes the drug? Who pushes the drugs? Who sets a society in which drugs, everybody's on drugs? Who actually sells drugs? Esau. Okay, which the drug is a poison. And then you have herbs, okay, which are medicines. But he's tricked the whole world into thinking that a drug is something good for you. All right. These centers may offer various programs, including inpatient and outpatient services, counseling, and support groups. So you got, let me stop. Rehab center for birds. Let's see what that is. Wildlife rehabilitation. Okay. Let's see. Because you got Esau in the environmental. Look at it. Look. See. Look. Bird shit got stuck. They got to clean the bird up. The bird probably, got injured. Something from Esau's infrastructure. Some type of poison. He did something to where he's messing with the bird. Look. The bird got to go get washed up. Like a person that was on drugs, on heroin, they got to get into the facility. First thing you got to do, what? Take a bath. They got to wash. You can't even wash yourself. They washing you. Look, the bird through. That's in this world, this society under Esau. Let me give you another scripture. Okay. All right. And then it speaks about. Then let me get the other scripture. Care animals. Let me spell that. I think it's for pets. something like that. For the animals. Hold on. Let me search this. I believe it's in Proverbs, maybe. Yeah, Proverbs 12. Yep. Okay. Proverbs 12. Okay. What verse? 12 and 10. This is Proverbs 12, verse 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. So we know for sure, okay, Esau is definitely not the righteous. There's another scripture. I'll bring on another scripture. We know he's not the righteous. We'll come back there. Proverbs. Okay, what is that? 28, 29 and 2, 29 and 2. Yeah. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Let's go back to Proverbs. Proverbs 12 and 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. You got to watch a documentary, and I'm pretty sure there's multiple ones, but a documentary, if you can find it, on it's a documentary on dogs, on how dogs are, bred, and sold. Most of these dogs are sold from breeding kennels, where they just breed dogs. You got dog like on a commercial scale, and how they treat the dogs. I mean, with no regard. They just it's just ridiculous. You just be like, God damn. But how much more how Esau treated us, especially when we were in slavery. We were treated less than an animal. Okay, and Esau, you're actually the vilest of all the creatures down here on the earth. Okay, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right, because he'll go and feed the homeless, right? But then he'll feed the homeless with GMOs. So it's literally killing them. Okay, and then basically feeding their habit, because they got to eat. A lot of them, I'm not speaking about people that actually need it, but he'll go and feed a straight up drug addict. He'll actually give the drug addict the needles. They do that in multiple cities here in the United States. Okay, especially out there in San Francisco. And then you got safe injection sites. They'll give them the Narcan. They'll give them the needles. EBT. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. There's nobody rejoicing here in Babylon the Great. Okay, that's it. And if they are, some are rejoicing, they're probably drunk. Okay, or on some type of drug to have them escape reality. Because the reality is everything is done. Like, this is Christmas, so-called Christmas Eve. And the mirth is dead. It's finished. Okay? It's finished. All right? It's not coming back. It's sucked dry. And the people that try to keep it alive, it's hard for them to keep it alive. Because that mirth is gone out of the earth, man. Why? Because nothing but lamentation, mourning, and woe that's coming. Okay? So let me go to, I think that was the only two scriptures that I wanted to get. Okay, yeah, let me read this again. Proverbs 12 and 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Okay?
On the mainland has a fair amount of rat poison in it.
Where it came from, I have no idea.
Troy doesn't know where Rex found the poison, but assumes it may have been discarded somewhere in the neighborhood.
You can't dispose of this stuff in a garbage can, because animals will get at it.
The best thing for you to do is to take it out to the Heartland Avenue Waste Management site. In their household hazardous waste area, they will take rat poison and other toxins from you.
If people out there have this stuff in their garage or in their barn or wherever they've got it, they need to dispose of it properly.
Because Troy knows how dangerous the product can be after losing his best friend. Brennan Strain, CTV News.
I pray that you are edified. Until next time, shalom to the light.